Hi everybody, this is Billy here, and today I'm going to be talking about a classic piece that's been around for about a century. It is the Sherlock Holmes series by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and this is one I got from Barnes& Noble. And look, I even have a sticker, 30% off. I'm too lazy to take it off now. This is one of my favorites of all time, and the Sherlock Holmes is, along with Agatha Christie's works, the starting point of the popularities of all those crime and detective fictions that followed. I'm sure most of you guys have read at least a bit of this kind of stuff before, and even if you haven't, you probably know what it's like. You know, try to imagine a tall, skinny, middle-aged British detective guy around the early 20th century in London, England. He is almost always smoking his pipe, and he goes to the crime scene with his magnifying glass and asks questions like, "Has there been a murder?" My favorite story of Sherlock Holmes series is A Study in Scarlet, which is one of the earliest stories and also the longest. It was published in late 1880s, I think, and it's about 100 pages long in this book. And this Sherlock Holmes guy, he's a freaking genius, or the author rather. His job is to go to the crime scene and find out who is responsible for it, blah blah, all those detective stuff. And sometimes even when it looks to be the perfect crime, where there just are not enough evidences to solve the problem, this Holmes guy pulls out all kinds of information about the criminal out of his ass. Like the criminal is a bald man, he's a smoker, he's 6 feet tall, he wears this kinds of clothes, he has this kinds of habits, he has committed a crime at 10 o'clock and Billy's ass is scratchy. No, but but yeah, at first I was thinking, how the hell do you know all this? I thought the author didn't tell us the things that Holmes knew, or it was just a hole in the plot. However, when he later explains his reasonings to his friend Dr. Watson, I was like, holy mother! He's one of those people who never misses a single detail about anything. I like him, but I don't think I've been friends with him. I absolutely love the setting of the stories. I think the whole spooky and eerie theme matches very well with the dark and foggy city of London. The word great isn't enough for this. It's mind-blowing. The Sherlock Holmes series isn't, one giant story. It's a collection of more than 50 short stories, so the reading experience of each story ends rather quickly, usually within about 20 pages or so. But when I was reading it first, I didn't want it to end quickly, so I read very, very slowly, taking in the story word by word. Sometimes when Holmes was thinking about clues back in his place, I also put down the book and brainstormed for myself. And then I continued when I thought I had some ideas about who the bad guy may be. I wanted to be on the same page with Holmes and see how we solve the mystery together. And when I finished the story and found out who the bad guy was, I was either very glad that my prediction was correct, or very surprised to see that it was somebody else. I think you get to see similar kinds of reactions from kids when they're watching Scooby-Doo. I've always had a crush on Daphne, by the way. Screw you, Fred. From what I know, Sherlock Holmes has a really big fan base, probably much bigger than anything nowadays back when he was really, really famous. The character settings of Holmes is pretty specific, and he even has an actual address for his residence, which is 221B Baker Street in London, England, I think. Some fans love him so much that they send him letters, yes, actual letters, to that address. Some even visited that address, only to find that a man named Sherlock Holmes never lived there. Here comes the spoiler. He's not real. He's a fictional character, my fellow nerds. And now there's a Sherlock Holmes museum on the address where he was supposed to be living. I visited it when I was in London, and it was great. I loved it. There is also a bunch of film versions of this. There is one released in 2009, starring Robert Downey Jr. as Holmes and Jude Law as Dr. Watson. I think it's a little fancier than original and has a bit of fantasy aspect as well, but I liked it nonetheless. Well, that's it for now. I hope you guys are enjoying your Monday, if that's possible. And
I'll be back.